baby. Oh, baby. Welcome, everyone, to another brand new episode of Beyond Cinema with Alex and Nate. So today's a special episode. This is our 5,000th subscriber episode. Then we have a lot of stuff we're going to talk about throughout the day. But today we have a special occasion, Nate. We hit 5,000 subscribers on the YouTube. So, hey, what's up?
Hey, not much, man. You know, I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. And honestly, thank you to everyone who's like watched a video, who's liked a video, who's left a comment. I want to thank especially though our OGs, like you, Alex and I, since we've been doing this, there's a few people who have like been around the whole time I've been around. So, you know, Alex was around a little bit before me. I was a part of my own separate thing. Since I've been here, Rob, been there the whole time. Jay, gotta give a shout out to Jay. Stephanie, been here the whole time. Harrison, been here since as long as I can remember. And then people who came shortly after that always were supportive. Bin Buster or Gray Creates now. He is over here. Tony, we cannot forget Tony. He will get mad. So Tony, these are the people who have been around the whole time. And thank you for always showing up and being in the chat and just having fun with us. So yeah, I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I mean, there's a list of people that we can thank because there's a lot of people that we, we don't have as much like connections with a lot of people in the community. Like within the scope of what we do, right? There's a short list of people that we are friends with and stuff like that. But again, I'm going to give a shout out to a lot of the people. I'm going to take the time, not long time, but I'm going to give a quick shout out to a lot of these people that work with us for a long time, right? So we got Harrison's been there for a long time, right? Really old movies. We have Stephanie, llBuyPopcorn, and Jesse, her brother. We have Triborough Gigolo, right? Yes. We got Nick Movie AV Impulse. We have, of course, Robert. Robert Makes the Cut. We have Jay Manley. We got Tony, Hot Take Tony, right? We got those guys there. And those are the main, Pablo, right, from Retro Rock and Roll. And Bin Buster, which is Grayson Creates. Trying to think of a lot of people that we worked with and that we're still friends with. And again, this is not like, we're just picking and choosing. We're not picking and choosing. I want people to understand. I'm not picking and choosing. I'm picking the people that were there for the 6 years that we've been together. And we talk to and we have, whether we do streams with or we talk offline or we in a group chat. So that's the
honestly,
the thing.
Mega Mike, we've been on his channel together.
Yeah.
He's come over here before. Harrison is one that we've been on each other's channels. It's not a ton. I mean, Scott. Oh, we can't forget Scott.
Oh, we can't forget Scott.
Scott. Evan. Been doing all these, shows with us. Yeah. Alex and I kind of, when it comes to like being on the show, I feel like we have a pretty, Jimmy. I know I can't forget Jimmy. We have a pretty small, circle that we work with. But that's just because we know them and it's easy to do. And when you're doing YouTube and you got to like schedule things and plan this and plan that, we're pretty straightforward. Like, hey, this is when we do it. And we hope you can join us. And if you can't, there's no sweat, no problems. Yeah. Tony, Basement Blues, he's been on our channel a couple times. I think, we keep it pretty small, but at the same time, we're grateful to everyone who's invited us on their channel. And we always have a good time or try to have a good time wherever we go. We try to bring Geeks and Flix wherever we go, even if we're not the ones like hosting the show or anything like that.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, it's good to bring the fun. And you're right. Like for all the channels that invited us, again, thank you. And then again, I I mean, it is what it is. But I'm not even gonna go. I'm not gonna go down that can of worms. But
this is a positivity show.
Yes, I'm not gonna go down that can of worms. But again, thank you so much to everybody. People that are live with us right now on the chat. We got of course Robert is on live with us right now. We got Harrison celebrates 11 months of membership and of course congratulations on the 5,000. So thank you so much. And of course, Jay on the 5,000. Thank you. Ben is here live with us too. He says, you all don't look that old for having 5,000 subs. No, we don't. I forgot to shave for today, but I look like a bear. We got Stacy. What's your favorite episode you have done?
I love that question. I love that question because when I saw that, she put that there, I started thinking, what is my favorite episode?
My favorite episode, all-time episode. My favorite all-time freaking episode is when we had game night and we were playing Friday the 13th and Stephanie stole my car in my seat. That is honestly,
I remember that.
I think that is, I wish we could do it again, like do another gaming session like that with everybody and we just have fun. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite get-togethers with the community. Like these were people from like, they were playing PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Not 5 wasn't even back then. So it was like PlayStation 4 and 3.
We were playing on PS4, I believe.
Yeah, and then Stephanie, I think, was on PS3 or something. Like, I don't know what it was, but all I know is we had a great time. That was a fun live stream.
That was a great show.
Yeah, that was fun.
I really loved our trivia tournament. Remember those shows?
Those were fun too.
We had like multiple, and then David, who won? David, what was his name?
Oh, he passed away.
He passed away, yeah.
Yeah.
David, it was Jay's friend. McGuire. David McGuire.
David McGuire.
And he won the 4K of the Godfather trilogy, but, quiet, but, I mean, those were Jimmy. I remember Jay came in dressed in costume. Like, those were really, really fun episodes. I love the trivia nights. Win Nate Stein's movies was always fun, where they have to face me in trivia. Trivia night stands out to me, and then other than that, I just remember moments that like really made me laugh a lot. People who are not around anymore, even like when unboxing, shout out to unboxing from back in the day when he sent us that video of like bloopers or whatever, or like it was like a little video of like and it was us being silly and goofy, and hey, shout out to him. It was kind of funny. So that was funny. But yeah, a favorite overall show, I'm going to go with the trivia nights. The game night was also hilarious too.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what, to end it on a good note, another person that really supported and hang out with us passed away is David. Also from radio,
Faces for Radio.
Faces for Radio. Yeah. David was a very fun lad to sit down and talk movies.
Oh, and Rich. And we got to thank Rich. Rich has been around. Yeah, Rich has been there. David, both Davids have passed away, but, definitely miss David Lowe from Faces for Radio. He was on our channel. We were on his channel. Always fun. Always great to talk movies with.
Yeah.
Evan is here. He said the balls with the numbers. A Balls Corner. Remember Balls Corner?
Yeah. I got to bring those back. The Balls Corner, but but other than that, like we have some fun. We have some fun shows. So that's what I remember most, Stacy. What was
remember when we did the Thanksgiving one too, where we had like a bunch of people on all at the same time?
Yeah, and we did the Brady Bunch cover.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time as well. That was a fun episode.
Make young Indiana Jones movie. I'm with that. If they pick a good cast that's super young, I think it could work. Okay.
No more Indiana Jones.
Jay said that's hilarious. Of course, Hot Take Tony's in the house. It's congratulations on 5,000.
Welcome, Tony.
Evan says trivia night. Oh, Harrison says love those trivia nights.
We gotta bring it back. It feels like we gotta bring back trivia.
Yeah, we will bring it back. We'll bring it back with fun graphics and music and all that crap that we used to do. All right. With that said, let's have fun. Let's start off the night right.
Now you're like me from earlier today.
Yeah, I got your rhyming bug. All right, let's start it off with the box office numbers for this week. Now, Nate, this is interesting. All right, here we go.
Disaster.
July 3rd to the July 5th. Starting off with in last place. Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's latest film, coming in at $6 million. Supergirl coming in at fourth with $9.6 million. Of course, Young Washington with $20.8 million.
Bro, that did good. Yeah, of course. And I heard it was pretty good, too.
And of course, number 2 is Toy Story 5 coming at $31 million. I mean, we all knew this. And another animated movie, Minions and Monsters, coming in at a $36.4 million. Nate, you are the pulse of the theater. What are we looking at?
Go ahead and do me a favor. Go ahead and up top, click on where it says weekend. Give me that weekend. And then go ahead and click this past weekend. Scroll down a little bit and click on that one. Okay.
This one?
Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you notice here, go down. Look at I want to start with Supergirl because we're going to be talking about it tonight. An abysmal 74% drop from last week. That is absolutely horrible. And, we're going to be giving I gave a short review, Alex, we're going to be talking about it, but that is bad. This movie's a bomb. It is not going to make money. It is not going to be profitable. It ain't happening. Now, this weekend overall, though, was lower. So 4th of July weekend is normally big time. However, the problem was 2 things. Number 1, 250th anniversary, obviously more important to most people than going to the movies. And number 2, 4th of July fell on a Saturday, which is brutal for movies because when it's on a Friday, maybe their Friday numbers are down, but then everyone goes on the weekend, right? Saturday, Sunday. Those are always the biggest, days for box office anyway. Right. But when 4th of July is on a Saturday, no one wants to spend the 4th at the movie theater. So you're going to cookouts and barbecues, and the numbers reflected. If you look like day by day, Friday was actually the biggest day, and then Saturday went down, and then today was a little bit up. So I think that kind of, affected it because otherwise every movie underperformed what you would think they would do on a 4th of July weekend, to be honest. Young Washington is the surprise out of all of them because it had almost 2,000 less theaters than Minions, and it made more than half of what it made. So, hey, did good. It was patriotic, It's the 4th of July. People were like, I'm going to go see something about America. Yeah. So good for it.
I mean, I agree. I'm very shocked with the big movies like Disclosure Day, Supergirl. I mean, they are really, 27% drop for Disclosure Day is not as bad. Right. Let's see what they do overall.
Even Minions and Monsters underperformed, but it did well overseas because it's not 4th of July everywhere.
Yeah, it's not that bad. 216.
No, it's not. It's not doing terrible. Yeah, click that. That is doing terrible. Just crossed 100.
Yeah, not bad. 100.
That's bad. It's actually very, very bad.
Yeah, no, that's bad. I mean, the Minions
is at almost 160 in 1 week in 5 days. And, most of it's overseas, and this is killing. So almost 3/4 to $1 billion already.
I mean, it came out June 19th, but still, it had a long leg in the theater. I mean, look, it's just at the end of the day, these box office numbers, it showed you regardless if it was good movies or not, people were not going out to the theater, especially when their family getting together to pop some, you know what I'm saying? Some, liquor.
They're trying to do fireworks and things like that.
Pool party, super hot. You don't want to go outside in 100-degree weather to go into a hot-ass theater, depending if your theater has AC or not. We have, Evan said, to my knowledge, churches did the buying tickets for Young Washington, so they got a big support from that community. Okay.
That's okay. Whatever it takes.
We have Tony Muchaki says, Nate, did you see the Minions movie yet since it was on your list? Nope. I'm actually gonna because I've been hearing great reviews for it, legitimately. And it looks funny. And I did pick it, so I have to see it. I just didn't see it this weekend. Jay says, watch Young Washington. It's a good movie. I suggest you see it.
She's not the only person that's told me that.
Stephanie says, hey, everyone, I made it. I totally didn't take the time to change it. The time. Forgot time for her is different. Stacy said, who would you cast as DC Livewire? Oh man,
I don't even know who Livewire is.
She looks like white hair, looks like a rock star, but she could shoot electricity. That's what she called Livewire. I don't know. You could make I don't know. Honestly, it's very hard at this point with DC property with these villains that not many people could care with at the moment. But we're going to talk about all that DC stuff in a few seconds. All right. Fantasy movie.
By the way, Alex, here's what I'm going to do. Before we go over this, if you guys have questions in the chat, go ahead and put them. I'm going to copy and paste them. Let's do them at the end. That way, as a celebration, we'll get some audience questions just so we can move the show along, and then me and Alex will answer them. So if you got them, just throw them in. Like, Tony, I got yours about PlayStation 5. I think it's a good talking point. We'll do it after.
All right, perfect. All right, so with that said, let's bring out the movie Fantasy Club. For those of you that joined the Fantasy Club, this is this week's new fantasy list leaderboards. All right, so coming in at number 1 is Rich with 1,465 points. Coming in at second is Team Rob the Barber, coming in at 1,133 points. Then Evan with 1,033 points. Then Nate coming in at 844, Glenn at 799, myself at 493, Tony at 353, Eli coming in at 334, Brad at 157, Angelina at 1, Triburrows at 40, and of course Ben at 24. So again, that's the leaderboard for this week for the fantasy box office numbers. Hopefully you're going out and supporting the movies that you chose.
Yeah, so Ben, you lost 2 points. I don't know what happened, but In the Gray apparently actually made $2 million less than what it was before. So sorry about it. I just checked the numbers. And then this week, Team Angelina, she's in 10th, but she got Moana opening this coming week. And Ben will get more points because Evil Dead Burn also comes out this week. So
yeah, July 7th.
Yes, they will have a couple more movies. I will say I moved up one spot because of Minions opening. Because at this point, all I had was Project Hail Mary. So I jumped Team Glenn because his number 1 pick was a bomb, and that's helped me out get ahead of him. So yeah, it's been fun. Brad still got Spider-Man coming at the end of the month. Triborough, he's sitting there doing this. He's waiting because he got Doomsday at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Harrison got Dune at the end of the year. So this game is going to be changing all the time. It's going to be funny to watch.
Now, what are the movies Harrison got? He's not even on the list.
Harrison has Dune was his big one. He has Street Fighter, which is, I think, October. He has Violent Night 2, which I think is in November.
Oh, so his is more later down the road.
All of his movies are second half of the year.
Okay, makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, Ben said first for casting Livewire, you need Batman Beyond first. There you have it, Batman Beyond. You need Batman Beyond. But you know what's funny? With Livewire, I thought I saw her in Supergirl, in the TV show Supergirl. Unless I was wrong, but I thought she was in the Supergirl TV show. But anyway, maybe you do, maybe you don't. At this point, we'll see what happens with the Livewire stuff. All right, with that said, Nate, let's get into some movie reviews here. Supergirl's the big one that came out.
Yes.
And you did a review on it, okay?
Yes.
And you came out in your review, right? And you said that tell everyone what you thought about Supergirl.
Okay. Tony, by the way, Tony says you guys forgot my question. No, I didn't. I wrote it down. Don't worry. We'll get to them at the end.
Yeah, we're going to get to everyone's questions. Nate is writing them all down, and then we're going to get right to it at the end. All right, what do you got for Supergirl?
All right, Supergirl. I did not like this movie.
Okay. That's what I remembered, but...
Yeah. So I actually thought it's quite bad. And I'm going to say this. I'm not super familiar with the characters of Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, whatever. I've seen the 80s one a while ago, but not a movie I grew up watching, not something and I didn't like that one either. So as a non-comic book reader of the character, the movie's what I got, right? Like, this movie is my experience with this character, and I don't like her. I'm not a fan of Supergirl. The whole, drunk, young drunk. It's pretty gross. In the movie, she's vomiting and pissing, and I'm like, what am I watching? What are we doing here? This is not a very likable character. And so that was number 1 issue for me, was I don't think she's likable. My number 2 issue with the film is the villain. And I know you got a thing we're going to touch on later, but one of the worst villains, I think, in a recent DC movie. Did not like him. Did not care. I think the story's bad. The whole plot revolves around a dog getting shot with a dart. And And then there's this, there's this side story. It's essentially like True Grit, right? Where you have this young person who wants revenge and goes to this older person and is trying to get help. But it's like worse in every way. And my last thing was that I just think it's ugly. It's like an ugly movie. It doesn't look nice. The cinematography is bad. Everything is brown and tan, and there's no color to it, and there's no vibrancy. And you would think, like, okay, Superman, the James Gunn Superman, very vibrant movie, colorful, right, bright, visual style. Here, everything is dusty and dirty, but not in like a, I know we're doing Westerns, not in like a Western way. Like, it just looks gross. It's not appealing. My positives were, I do think she's fine as the casting. I don't really have a problem with Millie Alcock playing the role. I think she looks the part. I wish she was likable, but it has nothing to do with the performance. That's more about the script. And I think Momoa, Jason Momoa is essentially playing himself, but himself is kind of like Lobo. So I do think he's a great casting choice for Lobo, but like, he definitely feels shoehorned in. He has nothing to do. He's just there so he could put Lobo in it. And you could correct me because I know you read the comic. He's not in that comic from what I heard. Mm-mm. Right. So they pretty much just put him in to get another character in there. And I don't know. I heard there were some reshoots. I know his scene in the prison, that was all added after the fact. That was not originally in the script. It felt messy, and I did not enjoy it. My cousin, who I went to see with, shout out Beckish, one of our other, people who's been here the whole time, she wanted to leave halfway through it. She was like, can we leave? Like, I don't need to see the rest of this. I was like, no, we got to stay. We got to see how it ends. And I thought the ending was disappointing. So I really did not like it. It was not my cup of tea. And I didn't think I was going to like it. So I can't say I'm disappointed because the trailers didn't do much for me. And again, I don't read the book. So,
right,
take my opinion with that in mind. I've never read the source. I did hear they changed a lot, but I know Alex is more familiar. So that's my 2 cents. I gave it a 3 out of 10. I think it's a pretty bad movie.
All right. Because I've been waiting to talk about this movie. Like, I was going to do a review, and then we talked about it, and I was like, I'll wait till Sunday. This movie was a very enigma to me. Because when I was sitting there watching it, I was just like, okay, I've been dying to see. Let's do it this way. I love seeing DC movies on screen. Yes. I don't care what it is. It could be anybody, whatever it is. I like to go to the theater to see my DC comics. Now, I do enjoy Marvel movies too, so I don't want people to be like, but I'm not a big Marvel fan for me to go to the theater. Like, I haven't seen the last whatever films that they put out. Like, I don't care for those. But with DC, it's totally different because if you see behind me, I collect a lot of DC stuff. I mean, it's all Batman, but it's all DC. I like to read my
DC guy.
So when it comes to that, so I was anticipating Supergirl. I said, all right, let's do this. Me and my wife went in. I got my little penis cup looking Supergirl thing.
with the brown
You didn't see it? I have it.
Yes, yeah. I like it.
So I got that cup and I got the tin. The Japanese tin can. I was like, you know what?
That looks better than the movie.
It does. It does look, yeah. So nice. I said, okay. So I sat down. I started to watch the movie. I'm not going to lie. I giddied up when I saw Supergirl. And I named my daughter after Supergirl. My daughter's named after Kara. That's where I got her name from. So I was like, all right. I'm not going to lie. I was giddy when I saw the character. Since I read the Woman of Tomorrow, I was like, you know what? I kind of know where we're going to go with the story. Now, this is when I start to watch. And Nate and some of you guys that have been watching the live streams could testify. I was never a big James Gunn DC head. When they named him DC, I said I did not want him.
True.
Because what I'm about to say is exactly what I feared. Halfway through this movie, I am watching Guardians of the Galaxy with Supergirl. There is nothing new, nothing different. I was not wild at all in certain scenes. I'm like, this is Guardians. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. Nothing. I'm like, I looked at my wife. I'm like, bro, the main villain looks like Taserface. It does look like Taserface. You can't tell me no. I mean, it looks exactly like Taserface. The Supergirl's flying a ship, which I kind of understand. Next to the Red Sun, she has no powers. But at the end of the day, she's on a damn spaceship, going planet to planet, red planets, and getting drunk, which I don't mind. She's a young girl. She's a college, if you want to say like a college student on Earth. great. But there's problems I got, Nate.
Yeah.
That is one of my biggest things. I was like, Supergirl did not have his own identity for me to go, oh my God, this is Supergirl on screen. It felt like a Guardians Marvel movie. That is exactly what I got.
Minus the humor. It's not even funny. Like, this movie's not even funny.
Some of that stuff was not landing for me either. Another big thing that I hate, and this is a trope that James Gunn does, and I'm like, bro, not every movie needs it, is needle drops. No, Superman, Supergirl does not need music. Like, what am I seeing? I'm seeing a battle with Supergirl, and all of a sudden, Jimmy Eat World kicks in, and I'm like, this is not even a Jimmy Eat World song.
But a terrible cover of it.
Yes, it's a horrible needle drop. I'm like, what is it? I looked at my wife. I said, this is crazy. I'm like, how many movies that this guy, whether he's the head of the CEO or he's doing another stupid movie, we have music in one of the biggest scenes. That's like taking Christopher Reeve's movie, and the minute he's about to save Lois Lane from the helicopter coming down, you're playing, I don't freaking Nirvana, Smell Like Teen Spirit. And you're going, what? Like, how does that work? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Alice in Chain, A Man in a Box. And you're going, what is this?
No,
like,
when did that movie, the original Superman, come out?
1970 something. So imagine
it's like if he's flying and they play the Bee Gees.
Staying alive.
He's staying alive all the time.
Staying alive. Like,
yeah, that would suck.
That would suck so hard, right? Like, that's one. Two, she has no theme song. Supergirl
there's no good score at all.
It's one of the most atrocious scores for a DC movie. I did not like the score. Did not like the villain at all. Every time Supergirl, and let me tell you something, I'm getting hyped, and I'm like, oh my God, Supergirl's about to bring the thunder, right? I'm like, yo, Supergirl's about to do her powers. How come Nate, you gotta explain to me, bro. How come every time she's about to use full-fledged Supergirl powers, she gets hit with kryptonite? The dude hits her with arrows. Yes!
Convenient.
We're gonna first of all, and I read the book, the comic. The comic does have a green planet, so they do have it. So I said, all right. But what's the convenience in all these movies that you can't let this girl go full power? First of all, right. I mean, I think I've read somewhere that she's stronger than Kal-El. Like, I mean, she could dominate. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have the hope and the care that Kal-El does. That's why I like her. Like, she doesn't give an ass. Like, she doesn't. I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass. But dude, they get kryptonite, and I'm like, bro, like she could demolish all these dudes. Stupid fight scenes, which I'm like, this is horrible fight scenes.
The action is not good.
It's not good at all. No. But I did enjoy it for Supergirl. Like, I was like, I enjoyed it more than the 80s version, because that 80s version was atrocious. This one just felt like Guardians, and that's what pissed me off. It was not the identity that I wanted, dude. Like, I left the theater going, it's a good movie, but it's like a movie that I could care less for. Like, I just, and I felt like James Gunn as CEO is going to hinder a lot of these superhero movies because he's going to throw in his tropes and his stupidity for no reason. Like, there's no reason for me to have needle drops in this, like, at all. There's none at all. There's none to have comedy in this movie. Didn't need to be comedy. Like, the whole point of her is like she lost hope and she was trying to bring it, like she was trying to get her hope back.
And for that, it's a very unhopeful movie. Honestly,
it is, but
it's not.
But you got to see it from her point of view, right? She saw her planet die, like literally die. But the problem, and that's another thing, they changed her origin. That's not even her origin. Her and Kal-El left at the same time, and she gets hit by a debris that gets knocked off course, and Kal-El lands on Earth, and then she lands a few freaking decades later, and he's older than her. They made up this whole, he puts a force field, they're dying of poison, he found blueprints from Jor-El and built this thing, and poof, she goes.
Clark's actually older than her in this.
Yeah, well, it's the other way. Technically,
in the
she's
comic,
older than
that's what in the comics, I always heard that. Like, she's older. But right. Here, she is not. She is the younger cousin.
Yeah, so, and that's my thing. It's like, why did you need to change the origin? You could have had both of them leave. And and that's the thing. Like, they just did some stuff. They butchered the crap out of this. They didn't need to butcher it, in my point of view. Also, I mean, you had a good story.
If I can do a spoiler,
yeah,
I guess spoiler for Superman. Really, they also doubled down on his parents being bad, which I hated. And you remember when we reviewed Superman, I didn't like that.
That pissed me off. Yeah.
And in here, they pretty much confirmed, it was not doctored by Lex Luthor. It was not, that's what he was sent for. And I'm like, oh, brother, like, take the thing I hated most about Superman, and let's double down. I thought that was, and I didn't love Superman, but I was okay with it. I think it's way better than this movie. And by comparison, I would much rather watch Superman, and I didn't even love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, Superman, and I don't want to, like, I'll be honest.
Is that a loss for words?
I'm a loss for words. I actually enjoyed Superman on screen. I don't know why. He was mad like I'm talking about like in this one. He was mad funny, just like like Christopher Reeve Superman was on screen. Like he was funny when he opens the thing, right? I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, I doubt everyone's gonna watch it anyway. I'm more bashing everyone's talking about it. I mean, look at the
I'm gonna read the comments here.
Yeah.
Before I do, what did you end up scoring this movie ultimately?
So out of a 10, I would go with a 4 out of a 10. Well, I am gonna buy it to go into my DC collection, and I did enjoy, and I like her design, and I even told my wife if they make a statue of her in the jacket with the Supergirl under it, the suit. See, the thing is in the comic book, and I remember seeing it in the comic book. She has the suit, the Supergirl suit with the jacket. She hides the suit with the jacket. That's the reason she has the jacket. She hides her stuff. No, this one she throws the suit away. She's like has no hope, which I'm like, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know, man. And then they had the 2-planet thing with the green and the yellow planet, and I'm just like, what? When the hell can you do that? Like,
it has 2 suns.
It has 2 suns. It has the green and the yellow, right? And then I'm telling my wife, I say, so we're gonna literally gonna wait out her dying, so when the yellow sun comes out, she gets her powers. And my wife was like, no, they're not gonna do that. And we're watching it, and I said, they're literally gonna build it up. And when they do it, it's another stupid needle drop music. And I said, you gotta be kidding me.
And they were all bad. All the needle drops were bad. They were not even good needle drops. I didn't like any of them. I didn't recognize 2 of them. The Jimmy Eat. I love that song, The Middle.
Me too.
Great song.
Yeah.
This version, horrible.
Yes,
horrible.
I agree.
Sounds like a coffee shop version of it.
Can I get a latte?
You would hear it at like, I should have been ordering a latte, not watching. All right.
I will say this, though. The major problem with this in the entire movie is she talks about Clark. Yeah. And she says Clark is very too earthly for him, right? Because he was born in Kansas, and she couldn't connect with him because he wasn't Kryptonian enough, right?
Yeah.
How the hell does a girl from Krypton start listening to music that she does not know? So she's taking this stuff to the thing, right? Then she's using references from Earth.
How are those aliens singing Earth songs at that bar?
Yes!
This doesn't make any sense.
Bro, I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, you can't connect with your cousin, but you're over here listening to Jimmy Eat World. Jimmy Eat World, all this stupid music. Again, it's this Guardians of the Galaxy.
And how does she not have an accent? She speaks Kryptonian, which is a totally different language, learns English, but just speaks it with a perfect, like, American accent. Anyone who's ever spoken another language when English is your second, you don't just speak it flawless, perfect.
Well, I think because they're aliens. I
sure, think that's whatever. We got to go with... But my point is, you could point at a lot of things and be like, this is dumb and this is dumb.
Oh, no. That is... Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just like, I just feel like it's just so... I don't know. It just...
All right, let's see what our chat is saying, because they've been popping off.
Let them pop.
Right, it says here, Ray Create says, Supergirl really doesn't have that many fans. Tony says, I thought Supergirl, it was very bland and mediocre, and a very poor adaptation of The Woman of Tomorrow, which is a fantastic comic. Evan says, I was not a fan of the Superman movie, so I will be skipping the Supergirl movie. Stephanie says, the villain... seems more like a henchman to me than a villain. I agree.
I totally agree.
Villain.
Yes.
Yep. He seems like he should be under somebody else.
Yeah.
Ben says the villain is actually a lot worse in the comic. Okay. Just Mel 2099 says, congrats on finding... Okay, thank you. Thank you, Just Mel. Tony says, the movie was what Andy Serkis did with Animal Farm. Take a great story of a book and remove the nuts and bolts and elements of what made that book special. Millie was miscast in the role like that. He's
she was not. No, she was not.
He's dying on that. He's been saying that since day one, so he got to stick with it at this point.
Yeah, stick with it. But I'm telling you right now, she was not miscast because she had perfect chemistry with Superman when they were together on screen. I don't think she was
miscast.
No.
I disagree, but we've disagreed the whole time. You know, Tony, he don't care what we think. Condiment King, the movie, says Ben. The villain is a piece of crap in the comic series. He is not just a sex trafficker, but he put two different races of his own people to war with each other. There are 2 scenes in the comic that they don't even talk about what he did. It was that bad. Oh, so he's saying much worse in the sense of evil.
Oh, in terms of the backstory.
Yes. Okay, well, that would probably be a more better villain. Tony says, hot take, I prefer the 80s Supergirl movie. Yeah, it's kind of awful, but also charming if you watch it as an acid trip film, knowing that the filmmakers were on drugs, then you have a blast. I still don't have a blast with it, Tony. Even if I do what you just said, I don't have a blast with it. Harrison said, James Gunn can only make one movie. Even though he didn't direct this, it is a lot like his movies. I was holding out hope for him, but he's proven to be a one-trick pony.
I agree. I totally agree. Because you know what? I agree. If the next Superman movie, which is the one that they're filming as of when me and you are speaking right now, if that movie has another needle drop, I swear I'm going to lose my shit.
It will.
I think 5. It will.
It will have 5. And it's going to have, you know what else it's going to have? The action scene. Yeah, it's going to have the action scene where the camera spins in a circle and everything happens. This movie had it. Superman had it. It's too much. Evan says, I agree with you, Harrison. Stacey says, what you get from basement. Oh, this is a question. I'm going to skip that for now. Rob told us it's 1978, so Bee Gees could have been.
Oh, it could have.
Could have been the needle drop. And Stacey loves Harrison's channel. Tony says, also a big red flag when you have the director of Supergirl movie say that he never read a comic book or bothered reading The Woman of Tomorrow. That's like, remember your boy, Martin Campbell, who said he never even heard of Green Lantern. And he directed Green Lantern. He's like, I don't even know what this is, but I'm going to direct it.
I'm going to be honest with you. That Green Lantern movie was better than this.
You know what? I remember liking it better when I left the theater. I'm not saying it's good.
I have not seen Green Lantern, and now this movie's forcing my hand to see the extended cut to see if...
We're about to do it on Action Movie Guys now.
Yeah, the best.
All right, Tony says, well, Alex, this film went through 3 different film composers when we were talking about the score, and one of which was Junkie XL, and he was rejected by the director Craig Gillespie. Junkie XL, of course, did the Wonder Woman score. He's like a Hans Zimmer protege.
Horrible.
Yeah. She is stronger. Ben says she's stronger than Superman because of her Daxamite genes.
Okay.
Her mom was Daxamite. How y'all talking stuff? I don't know, but I believe you. Rumor mill. If the Batman 2 is a success, Pattinson will be the DCU Batman. Good. I don't know why we need 2. Also, rumor that James Gunn will be writing the Batman the
Oh, Jesus.
That is bad news. You gave me pretty good news and then bad news right after. Thank you. It says, Stacey said, are DC budgets high because of hair gel? Movies look cheap. Superman pocket universe scenes are where Gunn pockets money? Question mark? I don't know.
It could be. Harrison said, I heard that too also. If Man of Tomorrow fails, Gun is out.
Please think Man of Tomorrow don't go see it.
Man of Tomorrow is going to fail.
I think so too.
If it
I don't think people are digging what he's doing so
because
far.
I think, well, we'll talk about it with the article that I have here, but I believe it says in the article that everything he's done after the stuff has been failing. Like Peacemaker season 2 flopped hard. Woman of Tomorrow flopped. I'm sorry, Supergirl flopped. Other projects that he's doing down the line is like it's not even working. People are not liking it. So
even lanterns, like people are like, oh, it looks cool, but like they don't call it the Green Lanterns, and it's like a cop show instead of like a superhero thing. But anyway, it says Momoa lost Kiss member. Yeah, he kind of does look like that, but
he looked Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Tony said the sad part is this put a bad curse of a Hollywood can't make good female-led superhero movies, especially with Madam Web and the Marvels, and now this bombing at the box office.
Whoa. There's a kickback to this though. Mm-hmm. It's not female. Like, I get it. You could have, because she was a good leading Supergirl. It's just that the script is garbage. Like,
you're And what Harrison said next is, to your point, he says, which is ridiculous because Wonder Woman was great and also made $800+ million.
And guess
the
what?
problem is not that they're women. The problem is that the movies stink.
Yeah.
They're not good movies. All the movies
agree.
Madam Web is a horrible film.
With hot women.
Not, yeah, great. But it's bad. The Marvels,
yeah.
terrible movie. Like, those are not good movies that they just happen to have women in the lead. It's not because there's a woman in the lead. So that's my issue. Tony gave this a 4 out of 10. Underworld, Salt, and John Wick Ballerina are movies that prove you can make a great female-led action movie. I don't know why comic book female leads can't do it, because they have bad scripts. Scott says, sounds like you guys saved me from spending 2 hours watching a disappointment. You're welcome. Tony says, it has nothing to do with Millie not sexy. Whoa, Tony!
Whoa,
I think she just doesn't embody the character in Woman of Tomorrow. I think Lily Reinhart would have been better. I do like Lily Reinhart.
Yeah,
but
I don't know who she is, but I would say this. The point of the character is not about look. She's 21 years old. It's about her finding herself in the planet, like who she is. Like, she just saw destruction of her parents or whatever. She thinks her parents are dead. Whatever it is. I'm just saying is, whether you think she's ugly or whatever, it is what it is. But the way I see the movie is, she's 21 years old. She has to grow up. And when she grows up, if they do decide to do an older version of her, great. But what I saw right now is a girl teenager rebelling. She's drinking. She left her cousin. She's getting drunk. She doesn't give a shit about anything no more. This little girl needs help. She still has it in her heart. She helps the girl. She finds hope, a little bit of hope in her. She becomes Supergirl, comes back to Earth with her cousin. Like, that's what I saw. I didn't see it as, oh, she's a dime piece. Like, I'm going to see Supergirl because she's super hot. It's not the point of the film. Right. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, Nate. I don't know if you go to the theater to see she's hot, but I'm saying she's 21.
It's not what gets me to the theater.
I mean, 23.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, because it was her birthday.
Yeah, I don't really care. I mean, again, yeah, I agree with you. I'm on the same boat as you. I mean, it's not a big deal to me. And I don't necessarily think that's what Tony was saying, but even still, Lily Reinhart is a good actress, and she's blonde, she looks, but I don't know. I thought the casting was fine. Just Mel with a great one here says there was less to compare with Green Lantern, which is why you didn't leave as upset. That's a fair point. There wasn't as many. It was prior to the super duper superhero boom of the 2010s and moving on. So I agree with that. Tony says, count me in for a Green Lantern review. That movie isn't that bad. All right. We'll see about that. Lanterns are more than just green. They are an intergalactic police. Yeah, I know that, Ben. I'm just saying the ones we're focusing on are the Green Lanterns on that show, and they don't even reference it really.
What Scott said? Alex
Scott says, stand outside WB headquarters with signs saying, bring Snyder back.
I mean, look, I love my Zack Snyder. I mean, his days are done. Like, I mean, if they bring him back, they bring him back. But I'm just saying is, like, I want to see something new, something fresh. But if you're going to bring out these characters, because James Gunn stepped on his own toes when he did that video, and he was like, directors are going to do their choices, their versions of movies. But now all of a sudden he's stepping into this guy's shit and moving all his movies. So I don't know. We'll talk about it. Like
Jay's giving Lanterns a chance.
I'm going to give Lanterns a chance. I'm going to give it a chance because, like I said, it looks like True Detective version of it. I'm just not happy with that we're not getting the green glow when he's flying, because he has that protective glow shit. We're not getting that, but it is what it is.
Just Mel with a beautiful comment. Don't jump on that train about women movies. A bad movie is a bad movie, which is what we were saying. I agree with this. Can't be better or worse just because the lead is a female. I agree. The only way I would somewhat agree is if you're like, okay, let's just say, sometimes I get a little irked depending on the style of action movie, but a superhero movie, they have powers. I don't care if it's a girl or a guy, just be in a good movie, and it doesn't matter. Tony says, any hype for a Clayface movie coming out? Pablo wants to remind everyone that Argentina won on Friday. Congrats to that. Clayface is going to have a soundtrack by Ozzy Osbourne and Marilyn Manson. He's being sarcastic.
I'm gonna be honest though. Look, if they use those two artists in certain scenes, I'll say cool. But I mean, if we get something like Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin during a scene he's getting surgery, I'm gonna be tight. But yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to read 2 more and then we're going to go on. Just Mel says, remember when we said The Last Airbender, how mad the universe was because the source material was worldwide? If the story was mainstream, it would be the same. Tony says, do you think James Gunn will have his job like, let's say, Clayface and Man of Tomorrow don't do well at the box office? Let's table that. Don't answer it yet. I'm just going to copy and paste it. All right. And then the last one here from Scott. I remember the outcry about woman movie leads when Charlie's Angels remake flopped hard and they were saying it was sexism. There was that and the Ghostbusters. Those were the 2 that like popped off the whole, the fans are toxic. They hate women. Well, was that.
Besides that too, but also the female leads were shitting on the men. During the whole, so it was like a back and forth arguing between the actresses, the movie, and then the people that are paying the ticket to see it. So it was like this whole craziness of back and forth going on. All right, so
thanks for all the comments, everybody. Let's go on.
All right, here we go. So I wanted to read this out for you, Nate, because you don't know what the hell happened behind the scenes here for Supergirl. So I wanted to tackle this quick before we go on to Stephanie's movie tag. So. Here goes, this is the behind-the-scene problems that was going on. For a month, DC Studios knew the film wasn't working. Things came to a head in March when the studio tested its own cut against one of filmmakers Craig Gillespie's version, okay? Usually test scores go up and away. But this March, the scores for Supergirl actually went down when DC Studios held a bake-off testing compelling cuts from the filmmaker Craig Gillespie and from the studio, run by James Gunn and Peter Safran. It was the moment of extreme disappointment for those involved as the stakes were high, particularly for DC. Supergirl won't be a key test for the Warner Brothers division, at its first featured, not written, and directed by James Gunn, following last year's inaugural, whatever that was, outing Superman. Yeah. But anyway, it needed to work to prove the studio that it could expand beyond projects directed by Gunn, a A-list filmmaker behind the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, Peacemaker, and the Suicide Squad, and the very first public face of the brand, right? Months later, Supergirl outcome is now well known. The movie starring Millie Alcock as the title character, budgeted at $170 to $180 million range, crashed and burned on its opening weekend, only grossing $37.1 million. Even lower than the rival DC-centric bomb 2024's Joker Las Avadox.
Joker Las
Afantongs. Anyway, well opened at $37.6 million and was not made by Gunn or Safran. All right, so So Gunn and Gillespie had creative differences over the direction of the movie. Numerous sources tell The Hollywood Reporter, and the film never found its footing in the post-production process. The test scores, which are counted on a scale out of 100 points, never escaped the 60th bracket. Nice. According to multiple insiders, and other insiders said that the movie top score was 70. They were not creatively aligned, is the police way of describing things, said one insider. Others insider dispute that this characterization, saying Gunn, Safran, and Gillespie had the normal amount of healthy friction any filmmaker and studio have as part of the process of making a movie better. And, of course, multiple sources say that the duo respected the filmmaker's chops of Gillespie, known for guiding Margot Robbie to an Oscar nomination for I, Tonya. So, they have, there's an 11-minute cut of Gillespie's version of Supergirl, and the one that we saw is the DC version, because it scored 2 points higher than Gillespie's version.
So Gillespie's is 11 minutes longer?
Yes, which gives you the backstory of the villain, whereas Gunn's is more what we saw in the theater.
Streamlined.
What you saw. Yeah.
All right. Here's my 2 cents on it. I'm cool.
I'm sorry. This is for you. The movie had at least 4 test screenings, according to sources, with screenings held in December 2025, as well as February and March of this year. And while social media users and critics are debunking on the movie's use of a cover of Jimmy Eat World's In the Middle, the big needle drop in the final set piece at the February screening was a cover version of Cyndi Lauper's Girl Just Wanna Have Fun. That was the song choice, came from Gunn, but it was ultimately abandoned for Jimmy Eat World. So it was going to be Cyndi Lauper's version of Girls That Want to Have Fun. So there you go, buddy. What you got?
Okay. Couple things. One, as far as the friction and, I'm okay. I do believe in checks and balances. I don't like studio interference per se. Right. But I also think when you have a movie that costs X amount, there has to be some sort of creative control a bit that most of it's going to go to your filmmaker. You're going to trust them, but there has to be that little bit of maybe this, maybe that, because otherwise, when you get a pure director's vision, depending on the director, of course, and the material, it can go off the rails. If it's not something that they wrote, which he did not write this, he just directed it. So. If it's not like a Tarantino or, someone who wrote and is very close to the material, I'm okay with that part. My thing is, what the article doesn't go into is the main issue with this movie is the script. It is not the direction. Craig Gillespie, maybe not the right choice. Maybe not. I mean, I, Tonya is a really good movie. He also did Cruella for Disney, which I know a lot of people enjoyed. I thought it was okay. He's a fine director. I don't really have a problem with Craig Gillespie. However, the script is bad. So when you said that the other one's 11 minutes longer, right? And it gave more backstory to the villain. I think that helps the villain because we agreed this villain is pretty trash. While it may help the villain, unless they changed a bunch of other stuff, I think the movie would still be bad. It would just be 11 minutes longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it says it's unclear what major differences emerged, but it says one source says that Gillespie's version was 11 minutes longer and featured more of the villain creme. When the two compelling versions tested, the score significantly dropped by like 2 points, right? But only by 2 points, according to sources. Gillespie's version scored strongly on song choices, pacing, and villain.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Gillespie's had the better version of the Supergirl, music-wise, pacing, and whatever, compared to the DC version that we saw.
Okay, and that might be the case. It might be the case, and we're never going to see it. So
maybe on 4K you get two versions of it.
I mean, that would be if there was any sort of beef, James Gunn ain't gonna let nobody see it. But if they're on good terms, maybe there's a director's cut. Either way, if the base of the movie is the same, I still think I won't like it. So I mean, hey. You know what? I didn't like the music in this, so if he had better choices, that's cool with me because I didn't even like him. And I think the villain did need more backstory. So maybe I would have scored it a point higher if it had those things. But if the base was the same, I still think I wouldn't like it, to be honest with you.
I mean, I kind of agree with you. I don't know. See, my thing is what type of people go to these screen testing? Is it like every type of like Joe Smo that goes to theaters, or is it comic book readers, or is it not? Because that's the problem that I have with these test screenings. Are you test screenings to comic book DC fans or comic book readers, or is it the general public version test screen? Because if it's a general public, they're not going to know shit about Supergirl. They're just going to be like, this movie's slow and crap, right? If you go to a comic book, they will tell you, wow, this needs changing, that needs changing, this could work, and maybe you could iron it out that way. But I personally believe it's just a normal Joe Smo 80-year-old in the theater. Like, what is this?
It could be, and they're going to buy a lot of tickets. I think you have to have a mix. You want to have I think you should have a mixture of like fans of the property and the average moviegoer, and then kind of compare and contrast notes. Because if you have all of one or all of the other, it's going to be, I don't think you're going to get the best results if you have all of one thing, right? If it's a bunch of normies like me who don't even know, well, I mean, I probably know more than the most basic moviegoer, but if it's just basic moviegoers and that's where you're getting on, I don't even like test screenings, Alex, to be honest with you. I hate when these studios determine what they put out based on test audiences. They need to stop. I don't know why I don't even know why test audiences are still a thing. Believe in your vision, make your movie, and put it out. Because clearly they did all this testing and it still flopped. So it didn't even help. They need to stop doing it to begin with.
I totally agree with you. I mean, there was another movie, I think I Am Legend was another movie. They did it with the original book novel ending, and people hated it because they were like, oh, why is he the villain? And then they scrapped it. They did a brand new ending and it scored super high. They went with that version, and then the people that read the book was like, why is it not the original ending? Then they put the original in the what do you call it, in the blue DVD or whatever. Yeah, the alternate ending, the real ending. So I agree with you. If you have a vision, put it out, because you know what? I doubt for that Marvel, or when they do Doomsday, I guarantee you they're not going to do these type of screen, because people are going to spoil the shit out of this movie, like all over the place. And that's exactly what happened with Supergirl. You spoiled all the movies. You're telling me there's 2 versions of the cuts. I don't know. At this point, I'm so like I'm so done with the whole people fight, because this movie didn't deserve to have CEOs and directors going at each other when it bombs in the theater. The movie didn't work out. The script was horrible. It is what it is. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm going to buy it for my collection, but at the end of the day, it's not a pleasing superhero movie. It's better than most, but it's just a carbon copy of another franchise to me.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go to the chat real quick. Tony says, I like Ghostbusters 2016. It wasn't that bad, but the PR was a nightmare, and they handled it very poorly. Just Mel says, the problem with 2016 Ghostbusters was they placed women to make it women-focused, not story-driven. Just women better than men. Quick way to alienate your audience. Fair point. Tony says, I wonder, would K-pop Demon Hunters and Alita Battle Angel be considered superhero films, since they are characters that do have powers and fight off bad guys? I would say so. Ben says, so I thought Gunn had said all scripts will be read thoroughly and the greenlit accordingly. Apparently, it's lies. He's a liar.
That too, yeah.
Jesmel says, Alita was great in my opinion. I also like that film. It is good.
Yeah, I like that movie too.
Ben says it's influencers and studio workers as far as the test screening. Tony says, Craig Gillespie's a great filmmaker. I love Cruella and I, Tonya. He was the wrong choice to direct this. I wonder if we're going to get an extended cut on the Blu-ray. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see it, but you never know.
I don't think, my thing is, if he did Cruella, which is a very good movie, and they gave him a really bad Supergirl script, like, it's not the director's fault.
What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Like, if it was written by him, I would say, oh, okay, you know what? He did not know what he was doing, whatever, it is what it is. But the fact is that he took another person's vision, tried to give it his own spin. It didn't work out the way people wanted, or the James Gunn didn't want it, and now they reworking it to make it look like James Gunn's work. Then, to me, I don't know. It just falls flat to me. I don't know.
You know for a fact, with James Gunn's ego and his thought process, if they release it on Blu-ray and 4K with a director's cut, and that is way better received, it's going to be a problem for him, because people are going to be like, well, if these people are making good movies and you're holding them back, and they're not going to want that. They don't want it where, oh, look, if James Gunn let off the reins, everyone would make better movies. You cannot have that as a studio, so I don't think we're going to see it. Robert says, Supergirl screenwriter Anna Noguera is writing Wonder Woman and Teen Titans. I don't want to see either one. If she's writing it, I don't want to see it. I think she's a bad writer. Honestly, if this is her only feature film. So I can only go off of this, and I thought the script was horrible. So I'm not interested if she's writing it. To be honest, I'm going to see them. You know I'm going to see them, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to read you this crazy right here. And I'll pull it up for you guys if you guys want to check it out. It's a quick article. This was reported back in October that DC films were slated because filmmakers were rejecting James Gunn's control, with directors walking rather than working under him. So this is the reporting came from the same round of sources telling us that James Gunn would be out once the WC sale goes through. I mean, but there's a lot of people saying that filmmakers don't want to work under James Gunn.
Well, I don't blame him if he's trying to change everything they do all the time.
Yeah,
you got to collaborate. You can't just control everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's. This is what I wanted to say. You got to stay your lane. If you want to be a CEO, then be a CEO. Oversee the projects. If you want to direct the damn thing, then direct. Like, stop getting other people and then come in and go, well, we don't like this scene. Let's do this. I'm going to hire my editors from Guardians, and I'm going to hire No. If you want to direct Supergirl, then direct Supergirl the way you want to do it. I'm tired of this whole, like, you're the CEO and then you're going to start bossing people around, because that shit don't work. I mean, it's not working clearly right now. But anyway,
Agreed.
It is what it is. So with that said, what does Tony say before we go? It's also upsetting that James Gunn said that they won't greenlit a script unless it's really good or great, not mediocre, which is what this was. This is mediocre because he interfered. That's pretty much what happened. All right.
But the script is bad too, Tony. You're right.
Oh,
if he read this, if he read this and was like, "Yeah, this is good," then he has horrible. He can't be trusted.
I think he did not read this. I think he let somebody else read it. I think that Peter Safran motherfucker.
Peter Safran was like, "This is a great script. Let's do it."
I think so because I don't think Peter Safran knows how to read. I don't think he knows how to do anything. All right,
hey, our boy JB is here, enjoying you guys during a soccer break, waiting for Mexico versus England. All right,
yeah,
JB, thanks for stopping in.
All right, so before we wrap everything off, Stephanie, I'll buy the popcorn, tagged us on this movie tag for 2026, the first half of 2026. So we are going to we're going to accept her challenge, and we're going to go through our movies that we've seen so far and give you her list of questions, and we're going to answer them. We're going to go back and forth here on these. So, Stephanie, I hope you're here, and I hope you're listening. So, with that said, favorite action
because you bullied us. You bullied us in the chat saying, "Hey, guys, don't ignore me." And we did not ignore you. We were planning this. So, we're doing it live. This is the mid-year movie tag. Go to I'll Buy the Popcorn. That's Stephanie's channel. Watch her video. I mean, you're going to see ours now, but watch her video, see her picks, and then we're going to give you our picks live. We had to change one. But when we get to it, we'll
explain why. All right. With that said, number one, favorite action movie of 2026 so far. Nate, what you got?
I think we're gonna have the same one.
I think so too.
And I think we're gonna have the same one as Stephanie because it's The Furious.
Oh, yeah, hands down. The Furious is my action movie of the year. I think it's gonna be the same. I think it's gonna be the action movie for the decades to come.
Yeah, I don't see anything on the horizon this year that will beat it. My next most anticipated big action movies probably that Highlander reboot. I think that's going to be amazing with Henry Cavill and because Chad Stahelski's doing it, so the action will be good. But The Furious is the pick. I wish more people went to see it. It did not do good here in the U.S. It did very decent overseas. Not amazing, but decent. Go see The Furious. Yeah. If you love action movies, it's the one. Go watch it.
I agree. That's my favorite. I mean, I left the theater and I was like, brother, put that movie again. It was like
started fighting people. And outside. Yeah,
I went right outside. Okay, so number two, favorite horror movie.
Okay, so Alex substituted. I didn't do horror. Alex substituted comedy for horror because he had not seen any comedy movies this year.
So I'm not gonna. So favorite horror movie is under the horror genre. It's not my favorite, but out of the two horror movies that I saw this year, this one's my favorite one compared to it. And I picked Primate in January. Came out, so I picked The Monkey. Because that thing was freaky.
It was kind of fun. That movie was pretty entertaining.
It was entertaining.
But entertaining.
But that's what I mean. Like, it wasn't horror, but I kind of like a monkey with rabies. Bro,
I love killer animal movies. So
I think so, too. Yeah. So I went with Primate on this one. My other choice was The Mummy, right? With that stupid mummy movie, and then Send Help, which I freaking hated. That wasn't horror. And Ready or Not too. But out of all those, I felt like this was more horror. That was, you know what? I kind of liked this one. It didn't have comedy. It felt serious, and the monkey was really tearing people apart. Kind of liked it. So yeah, so I went with that. So what was your
My number two was favorite comedy movie of 2026, and I went with a movie called I Love Boosters. Now, this is a really weird movie. Definitely weird. Boots Riley, second feature. I think it's a second or maybe third. I know he did Sorry to Bother You was the last one. This is like a satire, so it's that kind of comedy. And it's a statement on, a lot of different things. It's a weird movie. Since we're not reviewing it, all I'll say is I laughed quite a bit. The only other comedies I saw this year I didn't think were too funny. So I went with I Love Boosters because it's very unique and very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think you would like it. You wouldn't like it at all. Yeah, no, you wouldn't like it at all. But it's because it's not like a pure comedy, but it is a comedy.
All right. I trust your instincts. All right. Number three, favorite animation movie. I know you saw more movies than me in the theater, but this one I'm going to go with Toy Story 5 because this is the fifth movie And I'm like, while to me, I'm not going to go all full review because I didn't review it, but I don't know if you agree with me. While it is the 5th installment, I felt like this was just more of a money grab type movie, but it still was kind of fun. I was a little let down that it wasn't focused on the toys themselves. It kind of went on the Jesse train where I wanted to see my boy Mr. Potato Head and everybody together for the final adventure together. I was kind of happy to see them all, but they didn't give it. So that was my thing. But I go with Toy Story 5. It was kind of fun seeing Woody and Buzz on screen.
Yeah. So far, good thing it said so far, because I had to go with Toy Story 5 as well. I thought it was good. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. But the only other animated movies I saw I didn't like, because I didn't like Super Mario Galaxy and I did not like Hoppers. So those were the only other 2 I watched, and I didn't like either one. The one I think will end up being my favorite, though, is a movie called Wildwood. This is from Leica Studios, who did like Coraline and Paranorman, and it's directed by the guy who just did Masters of the Universe, Travis Knight. He also directed Kubo in the 2 Strings, which is a great animated film. So I think when we get to our end of the year list, that would be my number 1. But for now, it is up to this point, and I have to go with Toy Story 5 as well.
Okay. All right. Next on the list, which I think this might be the same question for both. A movie you love but others hate.
No, that's just for you. That's my number 4 is I picked most underrated.
Oh, okay.
Because number 4 was a movie that made you cry. And no movie has made me cry ever. So
well, no, that one I substituted for favorite sequel.
I substituted it for most underrated.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So a movie you love but others hated, and I went with Mandalorian and Grogu. I actually like that movie a lot, and I'm gonna buy it on 4K. I liked it. I didn't like it. I loved it. I thought it was good. I loved seeing again, when it comes to Star Wars, I thought the story was fun. Did it feel like a TV show? Sure. But it was good to see it in the big screen, those characters and everything. So I went with Mandalorian Grogu on this one, Nate. I don't know if you got this one on your list, but I went with that one.
My number 4 was, again, my number 4 that I substituted out was most underrated.
Gotcha.
And so for most underrated, I have a movie that I have heard literally no one talk about. Me and you talked offline. I went with Deep Water. This is the Rennie Harlin directed airplane crash shark movie. And yes, that sounds dumb. And yes, it kind of is, but it's also good. I promise you. He directs it straight, there's no like cheesy. It's like Aaron Eckhart's like a pilot, and he tries to help these people, but they be getting eaten by sharks. Bro. It is good. It is R-rated. It's pretty gory. The plane crash scene is scary. It's a really good movie. So it's already on VOD. You can't see it in theaters anymore, but I would say give it a rent. It's fun. If you like shark movies, you'll like it, and if you don't, but you just like action films, I think it's pretty solid. So that's my one for that.
All right. So my number 5 is the most disappointed movie of 2026 so far. I have 2 films.
Okay.
My number 1 of the 2 is Supergirl. It was a little disappointing.
Fair.
And my second movie was Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg. I was not a fan of it, but we did our review for the director spotlight. So, guys, you guys could wait for that in a couple of weeks. It will drop for you guys when we go full detail, me, Evan, and Nate, for our final episode of Director Spotlight on Disclosure Day. We already filmed it, but I will say I was disappointed with that film. So I will say that and Supergirl. I don't know if that was a thing you got.
No. So mine is, my number 5 is a movie that you love that others hate. So what you picked Mandalorian for? Well, ours are in different order.
Oh, that's
you substituted a different one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I picked Mando.
Okay. So for this one, it was tough because I was just trying to look, like I was looking through like Letterboxd, like, dang, what's a movie that I gave a really good review for that it seems like a lot of people didn't like? The closest thing I could come to was a movie that I know you didn't see. It's called Cold Storage. Okay. I saw this at the theater. And the average score is like a 2.8 on Letterboxd. But I gave it a 7 out of 10, and it has a script by David Koepp, who wrote Jurassic Park and a bunch of other older movies. He just wrote he wrote Disclosure Day, I believe, as well. But it's like this sci-fi comedy. Oh, that's a comedy. I could have put this for comedy too. And it stars the guy from Stranger Things, Steve, the guy who plays Steve in Stranger Things.
Gotcha. Okay.
Liam Neeson is in it. And it's about this alien that comes to Earth and it like spreads kind of like a virus. So it's a mixture of like a zombie and a sci-fi alien movie. It's way more fun than it should be. So I'm going to go with that because I think I don't know if they hated it, but it seems like no one liked it as much as me. So I'll go with that one.
All right. Yeah. Best movie of 2026. All right. I'm going to be straight up and honest. I'm going to say it. The best movie so far that I've seen in the theater is The Furious. Best movie. Now, I want people to understand, the storyline is kind of solid. It's a solid storyline, very generic, but that's not what we did it for. You're there to see the action. All right, it's just like John Wick. They kill the puppy, but we're not there about the puppy. We're there to see what havoc he's gonna cause, and that's what happens with The Furious. The story, they take his daughter, and that's it. That's all you need to know. And you know what? So far for this year, for the first half, The Furious to me is the best solid movie that I went, wow, I came out the theater pumped. So I'll go with that. What did you get?
All right. So my number, 6?
Yeah.
My number 6 question is most disappointing movie of 2026. Okay, this was easy. It was The Bride from whatever March or whatever that came out. Look, you know, Alex, I'm a big fan of the Universal monsters. I love when they try, even if it doesn't work, I love when they try a new adaptation. This was the worst. One of my least favorite movies of the year. I really hated it. And, you know, Jessie Buckley, she just won an Oscar. Christian Bale is in it. He's one of my favorite actors. And this movie was horrible. So as far as my anticipation versus what I got, this had to be my pick for most disappointing of the year, for sure.
I don't blame
Trash.
you. Yeah. Well, number 7, worst movie of 2026.
Oh, okay.
Hands down. Liam Cronin's The Mummy. That movie is ass.
I liked it, but more than you. I didn't think it was great, but I liked it more than you.
You know what? It was... The reason I didn't say send help is because I saw it in VOD. Like, I saw it on Hulu. So I was like, you know what? That was free. The fact that I went to the theater to see this shit is why. This is the reason why I'm giving it worst movie, because I spent money thinking that this is going to... Yo, I got suckered, dude, because I literally, when I saw it the way they made the font, Liam Cronin's The Mummy, my ass is thinking Universal Monster version of a modern take of it, and this is not what we got. No,
it's not that.
No,
you're right.
No, it's not. It's like a car, and they wrap that shit. You know when they wrap a car and they make it a new color? That's what they did with this Cronin movie. So anyway, I can say the Liam Cronin's The Mummy. Worst movie.
Right. All right, cool. All right, so my number 7 question is most surprising movie of 2026. Ooh. Now, this is tied for my best of the year, but I wanted to give both some love. So I put one here and I put the other one as favorite. So for me, most surprising movie 2026 got to be Obsession. I absolutely love this movie. I mean, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I've given 2 movies a 10 out of 10, and the other one is going to be my next question. So I thought it was great. I did not see it coming, to be honest. The trailer was just like, whatever, you know, it didn't do much. It's pretty simple. And yet, when I went to watch it, I was just like, I love this movie. And I saw it twice at the theater. So my biggest surprise, and I think most people's, as how well it's doing, is Obsession.
Okay. Favorite sequel of 2026.
Ooh. Okay, so this is a new one that you did. I did not do sequels.
This is a new sequel. So I went in her list. I mean, well, you went in her list. You read it to me, and I had to pull it out of the hat. So I removed, one of them that I removed was, a movie that made me cry. Something like that? I think that was that one, and I removed this one. Okay, favorite sequel 2026, I gotta say Ready or Not 2. This is why. While the movie, I felt like it didn't need a sequel. I think the first one was perfect. I liked the first one a lot. This one was okay, Nate. I watched it yesterday night, and I said, it didn't need the sequel. It was fun to see, but I thought it was enjoyable. I was enjoyed. Some stuff was kind of outlandish, and I was like, I kind of liked the first one better, but I thought this one... They tried. So I will go with Ready or Not 2 on this one. And there's not much sequels from this half point. Besides Toy Story 5 and all that stuff. But I wanted to put a new
Prada
movie.
2, which you
I
didn't
see that. Yeah, so I went with the Ready or Not 2.
That's fair. I feel the same way. I like the first one better, but I thought the second one was okay. I mean, it was fine. All right, and of course, the movie that made Scott cry in the chat, Jackass 5. Of course you cried. You guy. All right, my number 8 question is best movie of 2026, which you already answered yours. Mine is Project Hail Mary. I ended up going with Project Hail Mary. The only other movie I gave a 10 out of 10 to this year. I loved it. I thought it was great. I didn't see it twice at the theater, but that's more so just because of how long it is. And like, Obsession was an easy one to see twice. This one I would have had to really make the time. Didn't get a chance, but as soon as I get that on 4K, I will probably rewatch it. And I normally don't watch them that quick, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I would like to see it again. So far, that is my favorite movie, tied with Obsession, really. But I put that here.
All right. So my last but not least is the most anticipated movies for 2026. Do you have any more questions before we go on?
Yes, I have my worst movie of 2026. Okay. So my 9th question was worst movie. This was easy too. This took me 0 seconds. The Strangers Chapter 3. Oh my!
You still watch those shit?
Oh my gosh, dude! You know what? I don't know. You know what? I felt like I already committed because I watched the first 2. I was like, I need to go see how this ends.
You know what?
And I regretted it. I regretted it immediately.
You watched part 2, and I remember you go.
I said this movie sucks. It was my least favorite movie of last year. And then I went to see this, and it's gonna be my least favorite of this year.
I remember you telling me after part 2, and you were like, "I don't care if they make another one. I'm not gonna go see it." And you go see part 3, and you say the same thing.
It was horrible. It was so bad. And not only that, not only is it a horrible movie, I had one of the worst theaters. Like, these people were talking and yelling, and it was so bad that I didn't care. I didn't even get mad. I was like, whatever, man. Whatever you're saying might be funnier or more interesting than this movie. So, Strangers Chapter 3, worst movie of 2026. Good luck to anything trying to beat it.
I will say this. In terms of underrated movie of 2026, because I just thought about it because I did see it in the theater, I will go with Masters of the Universe for me. That was a very good movie, and it was very underrated. Yes,
I agree.
It is. So for me, I'll say underrated. I'll say that. All right. Most anticipated movies for me, I have 3 on my list. Okay. I bet there's more, but these are the top 3 that I'm like really looking forward to sitting down and watching. Number 1, of course, is going to be Avengers Doomsday. I mean, everyone wants to see that. And I want to see the X-Men mostly. Now, I don't care about all the Tony Starks, and I just want to see my X-Men on screen.
Yep.
My other 2 is Jason Statham's Mutiny. I am so looking forward to that action movie. And Clayface, DC Clayface. That's one I'm actually looking forward to. It was in front of Supergirl, one of the trailers, and it looks really good. Trailer-wise, it looks way better than what Supergirl did on the first few trailers. It looks scary, which I'm hoping it's pretty good. And last but not least, this is a movie. It's a foreign film. I don't know if it's coming out in theater, but I saw this during The Furious, and me and my wife was like, we got to figure out where the hell we could see this. It's from the director of the Train to Busan, called Colony. It's a new zombie movie, and it looks freaking amazing. I love zombie movies, but this looks amazing, dude. I don't know what the hell we were watching, but I know I was just like, I got to see this in theater. I mean, my man jacked the dude in the neck, and then everyone started going to zombie mode. I was like, this is it. This is sign me up.
Train to Busan is a really good movie.
Oh, I love that movie. I just hate the Train to Pennsylvania. I didn't like that one.
Oh, Peninsula?
Like oh, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah,
bro, the Train to Pennsylvania? That's pretty good. That's a pretty good movie.
That's a pretty good movie.
Train to Pennsylvania. That's the U.S. version of Train to Busan. The Train to Philly.
So those are my 4: Doomsday, Mutiny, Clayface, and Colony. For the rest of the year. What you got?
Shout out to Jason Statham. He almost made my list for most disappointing because of Shelter.
I was there too.
I was this close, but it's not as bad as The Bride. I just wanted it to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't bad as Disclosure Day or Supergirl.
All right, so my most anticipated movies. I have 3 as well. In no particular order at all. I got Spider-Man, Brand New Day. I'm actually very much looking forward. Yeah. I think Spider-Man's going to be really good. Looks fun and interesting. And I know there's going to be some cameos, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do there. My number 2 is going to be Dune Part 3. I know you're not big with the Dune movies. No. I really enjoy the Dune movies, so I'm interested to see this finale, in IMAX and see how that goes. And then my number 1, well, it's not like my most anticipated, but one of them. And this was a movie that, like, just based off of the name and director, I was interested. However, once that trailer dropped the other week, I was like, give me this now. And that's going to be Werewolf from Robert Eggers. It's coming out at Christmas time. Dude, this movie is, it's now, right? Like, he just made it, but it looks like it was filmed in like the 20s or something. I don't know what they did to that film stock or what kind of, I don't know. It looks amazing. I don't know, but I cannot wait. Aaron Taylor Johnson is in there.
Okay.
Willem Dafoe, of course.
Is he Van Helsing?
He's not Van Helsing, but he looks creepy. Whoever he is, he looks creepy, dude. And Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think, is the werewolf, like in the title. Okay. So it looks like a Robert Eggers movie, but the visual style of it that made me very excited. So I'm going to put that as my third one.
Question. So he so far did Nosferatu. Right,
Nosferatu, and the Northman.
No. I mean, in terms of the whole like Universal monsters, he only did Nosferatu.
No, he only did that one. Wolf? He did the Witch, and now the Werewolf is his new Werewolf is his new movie. But now he started with A24. His first two movies, The Witch and The Lighthouse. Then he moved over to Universal. Focus Features did Northman, and then Universal did Nosferatu, and now so he's moved up to the big league. I mean, not that A24 is not the big leagues, but he moved up to the bigger studios. Werewolf looks awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't too crazy with. I like Nosferatu a little bit. I like the stylized, but I wasn't too strong with the story. I felt like Johnny Depp's daughter, while she was a good actress, she yelled too much. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, she was doing a lot of weird, freaky things. And it looks like she was doing freaky things in this movie. She's like, I don't know. She did. And she's like drooling, and I'm like, what am I looking at? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest.
It is weird because she's like, the close up on the camera doing weird faces.
All right. Really
so what's the questions we got from everybody?
Yeah, let's go to the chat real quick. So Scott said, or Stephanie was here for the whole time, so she saw it. Scott says, I'm really looking forward to the movie By Any Means. Jay says, I saw The Furious as a sneak peek movie. Very solid. Story was meh, but the action made up for that. Stephanie says, I really need to see the shark movie. You do. Deep Water. Check it out. Tony says, I actually like Lee Corner the Mummy.
Who wouldn't not say you would not like it? Everyone would know you would like that movie.
As soon as you say you hate it, he will say he likes it. Scott says, Jackass 5 got me all emotional. Tony says, then again, I also like Psycho Killer. Oh, horrible. That could have been it. That was in the running for my worst of the year, too. Seems like everyone hated it, but I had a blast with it. Stephanie says, thanks for accepting the tag. You're welcome. Thanks for tagging us. Ben says, from where Alex lives or from where Nate lives, for train from Pennsylvania. Oh, man. Tony says, I'm hyped for Spider-Man when the Punisher teaming up. Right on. And he's also hyped for Werewolf because I'm a werewolf guy and I love watching werewolf movies. They're so underrated and we need more of them. Right on. Okay, we had two questions that we didn't answer.
There was
both come from our good friend Tony. Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one he asked earlier, was question: thoughts on Sony no longer doing physical media to PlayStation games for the PS5? What do you think this means for the future of physical media, especially for movies? Now, that's an interesting position. Alex, I'll go to you. That it's a gaming system stopping games, and he wants to know how this affects movies. But I mean, I guess we'll just give our opinion in general. What's your opinion on this? I have one, but I want to know what yours is first.
So it's okay. So I'll do it this way. It's a tale of two tales, right? If you really think about it, right? Because physical media movies, that's totally different, and digital, that's totally different compared to gaming. Mm-hmm. When it comes to gaming, I personally, like I said before, and I'll say it again, I could care less. I buy digital games more than physical. I only buy physical for games that I want in my collection so I could have it with my movies, like if it's like a property like 007, Indiana Jones, like stuff like that, or I could go back to old games. I like to put it with my old stuff. In terms of buying new games, bro, the only new game that I brought physically is 007, that I paid like $300 for that nice Golden Gun edition. Yeah. Other than that, every game that I purchased, MLB The Show, all the way down to whatever I wanted, is all digital. So it doesn't affect me. I'm not into this whole war between physical and digital, and you have to have it. Again, even for me, myself, it's the same thing with the movies. Me and Nate talked about this for a very long time with movies also. I could care less. As long as I can watch the movie, I can get it digitally or physically. if I buy it physically, it's because I want to own it in my collection. If a movie like, let's just say, Leon Cronin's The Mummy, if it's on sale for $5 digital, I'm gonna buy it just to have it in my collection, and I could give two shits if they steal it from me or they say I don't want you to have it.
If they steal it from me later, I don't care.
If they decide to take it away from me, I am not crying for it. And that's the thing that, like, I don't get. I understand from it's a double-edged sword with digital. I totally get it. I don't want to sound like, oh, whatever, but sometimes I feel like people are taking this thing and they're making it blown out of proportion, right? Because if Sony goes, and I'm just going to say a hypothetical, if Sony goes, PlayStation 6 is going to be a digital system for the whole year up to the system drop. Everyone's going to bitch about it. The system come out, they're going to buy it. Oh my God, the game looks amazing. It's one of the best looking games ever. You're not going to worry about it. That's my only thing. I totally understand about buying the games and putting it on your shelf. I get it, but sometimes me, Nate, everybody that's watching this own movies. Your disc rots, and what happened when your disc rots? You gotta rebuy the movie, or if it's out of print, you ain't getting it back. So it's a he say. I mean, at this point, it's like it's what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. I'm in the camp of I could care less because I buy digital in terms of video games. Movie wise, I do the same. Like, again, look at the movies up there. Fun fact for you guys out there, and I know I'm going to get killed for this. All those movies up there, those are all movies, steelbooks, right? Those are all disc in there. Guess what? If I want to watch those movies, I watch them digitally. Because
you're telling me you don't go to your wall and take it off the wall?
Nope, I don't. So all those movies up there, I go digitally because I own the digital. Like, again, me and Nate do the Action Movie Guys podcast. Most of the movies that we watched, I watched them digitally. Unless
I own all the Star Wars movies. They're up above me, and I watched them all on Disney Plus when we reviewed them. I didn't want to take down the box and take out the thing.
Yes.
And take out there is a certain process to it sometimes. I'm like, I don't want to do it.
And if you have thousands of movies, like, I mean, Nate has a lot. I have tons of them. And I bet other guys like Basement Blues, Tony, or whatever, I mean, these guys have thousands upon thousands. How the hell are you going to look for a movie like, oh, I got to look for Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and I have 20,000 movies I got to go through? Nah, man, if I got it digitally, if I can find it digital, I put it on. That's how I feel, Nate. What do you think in terms of that?
Yeah, so I'm not a big gamer. I have a PS5, and I bought the one with the disc drive because I bought it to watch movies on. So I didn't even buy it as a gaming system. Once I got it, I do play a few games. You know, I play some Overwatch, which I do not have. Guess what? I have it digitally. I have exactly 3 games physical. I have that Jurassic Park collection. Shout out to Alex for a Christmas gift. I got the Ninja Turtles collection, which is like all the old arcade games and stuff. And I have the Marvel Fighting collection. So it's like those collection things. I have those on disc. And that's because 2 out of 3 were gifts. So it's like, other than that, now what I will say is I think it's dumb of Sony to do. The people I feel bad for are more so the families who maybe gaming's not a cheap hobby. It's really not. It's very expensive, and games are like, I feel like, what are they at? Like $80 now?
$70 to $80,
yeah. Like they're very expensive, and I do feel bad for the family who maybe buys used games because they don't, they can't afford to buy everything day one. And maybe they're waiting for a GameStop to get a used copy so that they can go and get the used copy, right? I feel for those people, honestly, I do. I do think it's silly for Sony I think it's going to hurt them. I do think it's going to hurt them in the long run. Also, that means you cannot watch movies anymore on these systems unless you're streaming them. They're basically streaming boxes is what they're becoming. So, like 4K players, I wonder how that will help on resale value. In like a couple years, you're like, hey, I got the one with the disc drive that you can watch 4Ks on. And same with used games. Some of these are going to be, I wonder how the value will fluctuate. I have no idea. My main point is, I think it sucks if you love buying your games physical or if you like trading them. That's the other thing. You're stuck with it now. Like you paid for it. That's it. You have it. As far as Tony's point about movies, I feel like they're very separate. I get the whole thing about licensing. I work for a company who does exactly that. You know what I mean? It's licenses and stuff. And I get it, but I agree with Alex. Like I have a huge like Fandango at home, or used to be Voodoo. My library is very big. There's a lot of movies. Bro, that movies that I got there initially are still there 13 years later. So if they're ever going to take them away, I haven't seen them yet. I don't know. And if they do, I'll go buy it. And if all media is like, if I can't buy it, then that's a different story. But I don't know. I don't feel as strongly. But I feel for the people who maybe don't want to spend $80, $90 on digital games that they can lose the license to. And I saw that thing today that said, like, if you don't open your account for like 2 years, then you lose all your games. So if you have something happen or you go somewhere and you're out of commission for a couple years, everything you bought, they'll take it away. And that kind of sucks. Those sort of things I don't love, but we'll see how it affects them. I think Xbox, if they start pushing discs, I think Sony's going to regret the decision. We'll see.
Well, no, I think Xbox said they're following suit with their new system.
Oh, they follow suit, then they're also Nintendo, because they sell them little cartridges.
But that's the thing. Like, what happened if Sony goes, okay, and they come out with a thing they put the game in the cartridge? Like, again, it just... I don't know. I just feel like I don't play games that much anyway. I just play my 007 game, my sports games.
You also can't let your friend borrow a game because it's all digital now.
Yeah.
Or will be.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, Tony, is a great question. I can speak in terms of movie ways. It doesn't affect me. I don't get bent out of shape when they remove movies. I know a lot of people do it, and it's like, Viva the physical media, woo! And then everyone up in arms, whatever.
Okay, real quick, everyone's thoughts on this, and then we'll do the last question, then we'll get out of here. Ben says, MLB, Madden, or WWE, all digital for me. I think Tony is coming from the standpoint that licensing of the digital movie purchases they were taking off their platform. I do remember that. Harrison says, I do think it sucks that digital movies are just a license and not your own copy. Sony no longer has a deal with Studio Canal, which affects around 500 movies, including Terminator 2, and those are all going to be removed. Well, that does stink. If you paid for it, but at least you can still buy it on disc.
Right, really, and my question to you, Nate, is they're removing, let's say, Terminator 2. Yeah. How many copies of Terminator 2 do you have? Right, you have the Blu-ray, you have the 4K.
You could get it on
digitals.
anything.
Yeah, so, again, and I get it, but people are up in arms. Like, oh my God, I'm losing my Terminator. You can watch it.
I think that the point they'll make is, well, I spent money on it, and I lost it. But let's be real, especially the people we are talking to and a lot of collectors, y'all be buying the same movie 18 times anyway. So let's not act like it's like I bought this once and I never want to pay for it again. Please, you're going to buy it again. It's going to come out in $15K. You're going to buy that one. So I get it.
$15K.
I do get it, but it's not the end of the world. Like, you could still buy it. Now, if the only, to Harrison's point, if the Studio Canal digital version on Sony was the only version available, I agree. I think that's horrible. I doubt that's the case, but I don't know. Ben says, no one bitched about Steam, which is an all-digital platform. Yeah, it's been around for years, and they don't sell no games. Scott says, the whole digital games thing, Sony thing made me laugh. Because, of course, a subject in the physical media community, everyone can make a stink about it for more follows and views. That is true. It's easy content. Tony says, I buy digital too, but I'm always going to be a physical media person from day one because I love collecting movies and movie soundtrack CDs, and I would not like for that to go away.
But again, that's your choice, right? Like, everyone has the choice. Like, I have a choice to collect vinyls or CDs or whatever. The point is like, within the digital world or physical media world, that's the thing. Tony, you could collect your movies, you could buy your physical medias, but the thing is that you buy digitals and they remove your digital. Are you gonna go up in arms and go, oh my God, I can never get, Nosferatu digitally? Like, I mean, can I get it physical? Which you're not, right? Because you're always gonna find them DVDs or Blu-ray.
You can find it if you really want it.
Right.
Ben says most games are a day one purchase to get more than the trial for the game. Tony says, I think Backlash will have Sony change their mind on the decision. We'll see. I don't think so, but we'll see. And then Ben says, what does this do to codes? Are you talking
movie codes?
Digital codes?
Yeah. Nothing, because you buy the movie, you get the digital code, you put it up. If the studio removes it, then you don't have the digital, but you still have your physical. See, that's the thing that I don't get. You buy your movies. Now, movies that don't have digital, that's where you complain. You go, oh man, I paid $20 and I don't have this in digital. Okay, great. Your disc breaks. You could opt out and go to Amazon and get a new one. But at the end of the day, if it's a movie that you really don't care about, like, that's my only gripe. I mean, again, people have their opinions. I just hate the whole like physical media and digital thing. Like I hate that whole banter. Like it's just like if it's someone that can afford it, right. You want them to buy physical media for $40 a pop, where they could buy it for $5. Perfect example, and I'm not throwing him under the bus at all. So Evan, don't kill me. Evan, perfect example. He tells us all the time. I brought this movie, because we're doing director spotlight, and Evan was like, I brought this movie $5 because it was digitally, which I was like, hey, I did the same thing too. But me and Nate, of course, we work. We have more money in terms of financing. We could buy the physical of it.
Free cash, more free cash, let's say.
Right, to spend on. So I brought more of the. So I have a lot of the Spielberg movies.
I have all of them.
Yeah, you have all of them.
Every single one.
But and you know what? I give my digital movies away. Mm-hmm. I have the physical, and when someone goes, "Oh, can I have it?" I give it to them. I don't complain. I don't say, "Give me $5," like people do in the fucking Instagram. They sell them. I don't. I'm like, it is what it is. I don't know where you at money wise, so I'd be like, take it. I'm okay. I'm generous like that.
If you will enjoy it, have it.
Right. Like I'm okay with it. But like for Evan's sake, and you got to think of it that way. I don't think people think of it that way. It's like people the physical media.
Yeah, like why would I buy the $40, $50 Sidekick Vinegar Syndrome? You could get it 4K digital for like $5.
Yeah, or $2.
What do I don't get I don't get a box. I don't get, but like at the end of the day, it depends if you just want to watch the movie. I think digital is a fine option. I've always been pro both. I'm pro movies. Yeah. If you got to watch digital, watch it digital. If you want to buy it physical, buy it physical. I'm okay either way. All right, last question. And this was the second one he asked. Do you think James Gunn will have his job, like let's say Clayface and Man of Tomorrow don't do well at the box office? Do you think he will be fired now that, especially with the purchase, right? Paramount, they're buying Warner Brothers. Alex, if those movies fail, how long is the leash, is essentially Tony's question. What do you think?
I'll say they'll play out his contract, and then they won't renew it. I think his contract ends 2027, 2028. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'll tell you right now.
So you think they'll put into production everything they already got lined up, and then they'll take it from there?
Yep. Contract with DC. I'll tell you right now. James Gunn and Peter Safran is extended through 2027 spring, next year. So
I think they're done.
They're done.
I think they're done. I don't think they're going to be brought back. I'm going to be honest with you.
So they said right here, James Gunn, Peter Safran's contracts as co-heads of DC Studio extends through spring 2027. Originally signed a 4-year deal concluding in late 2026. The leadership duo received an approximately 6 months extension. Their future beyond this window remains a subject of ongoing industry speculation. I don't think they're coming back.
I think they're toast. I'm going to be honest with you. I think even if the movie does good, they're toast. I do.
Superman, whatever Superman happens with Superman, I think they're done. They're gone. Because they did not make money for that studio at all. They made it more worse than what they did to it.
The fact is, they've been in charge even over some of the old movies, right? Yeah. So like Aquaman 2, that was a flop. Blue Beetle
was a semi.
I think it didn't make. I don't know if it made money. I know like people didn't hate it as much, but I don't think it was a big hit. What was the other one? Shazam 2 was a flop. Wonder Woman was a flop. Superman, I wouldn't call it a flop, but it wasn't the huge success they were hoping for. So far, I do not think they have the track record that says we got to give these guys an extension. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Let's see. These are the movies they did, and you tell me yes or no. Superman, Supergirl, Clayface, Man of Tomorrow, The Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, Teen Titans. TV-wise, they're doing Creative Commandos, which was released in 2024. I don't even know if that was good or not. Lanterns, Waller, Paradise Lost, Booster Gold. That's everything.
To be honest, a lot of those things were announced, and I don't think they're going to happen.
Nope.
Why would you? On what planet? Again, I'm not even a DC like expert. But on what planet would your first set of things be? Creature Commandos, Supergirl, Swamp Thing, Lanterns, Waller, Booster Gold. Why wouldn't it be Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash. These are your biggest properties. And you're going to be like, we want to do the D and E list characters here. Booster Gold?
I think the problems they should have done, and I said this a long time ago, they got to first build your foundation. It should have been Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. Should have been, right? Then you build out, whether it's a sequel to those movies, adding one hero, right? So let's say you do Batman. Batman, you could add someone that falls in line with that universe. You could do Nightwing. If you don't want to do Dick Grayson, you could do Nightwing. He's older. No one got to see Nightwing on screen. Then you could do a history like Nightwing's first movie explaining why he left Batman. So you could show a little bit of Robin and Batman as a young, and then you could see the fight between those two. Anyway, then you bring in Flash as a separate thing. Then you bring in Green Arrow as a separate, and then you do the team-up
Green
movie
Lantern,
of all of them.
Aquaman. Then you can get to all those. All those characters are still more well-known than Booster Gold.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, and that's where the universe, TV universe comes in handy. Because if you don't think, and I'm just speculating, okay? If I don't think a property will be good successfully on screen, then you just minimize the screen into a 8-episode, 10-episode series, right? So let's say Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, right? Those are my 3 heavy hitters. We know people are going to go to the theater to see it, right? Yeah. But if I know Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter, those other 4 properties, I know, man, if I do a movie of that, will we gross enough? No. Why not do a TV show of each of those on an 8-episode, 10-episode origin story that leads to the bigger picture of a movie that they all link in, and then you go, holy shit, like now we saw a Flash with Barry Allen. As Barry Allen, first episode, he gets hit with lightning, and then he goes through the trials until the last episode that links into a movie. Same with Green Arrow, Green Lantern. So at least you get an origin of these characters, and you understand the psychology of each of the characters and their villains in their world. Then you're going, shit. And then you team them up with the big guys. We're going to do the Flash, but then in the movie version, you're getting a new actor. No, you're using the same actors as the TV show. You're pumping them right into the big screen because the fans already saw these guys in action, and now you're teaming them up with the big dogs, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, and Batman, whatever. That's how you create this universe. And then you could now branch out and do whatever you want. If it's successful TV. See, TV is a very useful tool. DC and Warner Brothers never understood how to use it. They do this whole bullshit. The movieverse can't have the same actors as the TV because my man Grant Gunston is the best Flash there is, but you can't use him on the movie because he was a TV show actor. Like, how the hell is that? He's an actor, just like everybody else. Like, how does that work? I would have loved to see Supergirl and Melissa Burnett shows up as the mom, Supergirl's mom. Like, why couldn't she be a young... Kara Zor-El's mom or whatever.
Arrow kicked off that whole thing. Arrow was very popular. People really enjoyed it. I remember.
You could have did something like that. Use the smaller the B-list guys as a TV show catapult. Build your TV shows. Use your A-list for movies, and you will have a great what do you want to call it? A great traction in terms of how you get people to see this. Now, you don't have to release them all at the same time. You take your time, when you release them. But
I agree. And really, the crazy thing about all this is that Marvel, and I'm talking early, 2008, Iron Man, Marvel showed you exactly how to do it, and no one has been able to recreate it. Now, there's a number of factors. Number one is people are more focused on that than making a good first movie. What Marvel did was they said, let's make Iron Man. Let's make it as good as we can. And we'll put in Nick Fury at an end credit scene, mind you. He wasn't even in the movie. He was at the end credits, right? Movie was popular, big hit. End credits, people were like, whoa, there's a bigger universe here. Hulk came out. What did it have? A cameo from Tony Stark at the very end. 2 seconds, lets you know. Same universe. And that movie wasn't a big hit, but they stuck with it 2 years before you came out with Iron Man 2. And then the next year, and they laid it out. Say what you will about Marvel now. I'm talking early Marvel. They did it perfectly, but what they did was they tried to make a good first movie. These people are trying to plan out the 10-year plan without having the one good movie to kick it off with. And what they need to do is, like you said, focus on your big ones. I mean, they did with Superman. It did okay. Batman should have been the second movie. And whatever you're going to do with Batman. Yeah. He is your biggest name, right? But no, we got Supergirl, which is weird. You know?
I think they should have done was at the end of this Superman movie, they should have ended on the one credit, like you said, a 1 minute or 2 minute scene of Perry White telling Lois Lane, I need you to go to Gotham City to cover Bruce Wayne. And he goes, who the hell is Bruce Wayne? And it just ends. And you go, holy shit, Bruce Wayne is now in the universe of, Clark is going to meet. Then with Supergirl, if you want to introduce Supergirl, you could do something at the end of Batman, whatever, and Batman's screen when he's in the Batcave, you could do something that the Bat computer is showing something like satellite footage, and you see her pod hitting something like hitting the water. You don't know who the hell it is. It just hits, the pod hits, and then all you see is her, a girl, and then you be like, oh shit, is this
Supergirl feels a lot more like a 7th or 8th movie in a franchise than a second movie.
Yeah,
to be fair,
I think he was just trying to. I think he shot his load. I think he was just trying to be like, oh, I could do whatever the hell he wants.
And Ben said Marvel used B-list characters because they didn't have X-Men and Spider-Man, which is I agree. They had to use Iron Man, but my point is, like, they made sure Iron Man was good. They said, let's make a good movie, period. And it was a great movie, great casting. It was, and you got to remember, Alex, we talked about this. I think when we reviewed it, we definitely talked about it. Robert Downey Jr. was not a safe pick in 2008.
Oh, no, he was not. He did cocaine and everything.
He was he had not made that's the movie that put him on the comeback. So it was a bold casting choice, but a perfect casting choice. They filled it with, Jeff Bridges, Gwyneth Paltrow, Terrence Howard, like, put good actors, Jon Favreau, good director, let him make his movie, and then they built from there. But these people, they want to jump to the end. They want to get to that without building the foundation.
I agree. So, they have a good Superman. They better not lose him.
He's good. He's got a good Superman movie in him.
Yes, and I think if you put a really good movie around David Cornsweet, I think he could catapult Superman. Now, it's going to come down to Batman and Bruce. I mean, Bruce Wayne and Batman. It comes down to that, and that's the most trickiest thing, is finding the actor that could play the balance between the Bruce and the Batman. Now, Robert Pattinson, while he is in this new universe, because I don't know why, but he's in this other universe, I think he's a very good Bruce. He looks like Bruce. Now, let's see what happens in part 2. If they give him the dynamic between the two, we'll see. But honestly, as of right now, Nate, I think they had. I mean, when I saw Superman and Supergirl and he was doing what he was doing, I was like, bro, I could see this dude in another movie, because he was funny as hell. When she was talking Kryptonian to him, and he was just like, you don't understand what I'm saying? I
think he's a good Superman. He's not my problem with it.
And he understands the character because he reads it. Yeah. So he knows, all right, let's see what we got. A few more, and then we're good to go. Ben said Lex is a good conduct for connecting Bruce. That's true. 2 businessmen. And you put him on screen for the first time. Yep. Harrison says, to be fair, too, Marvel Comics was having a resonance during the early 2000s with the Ultimates and the Civil War. Now the comics are garbage.
True. That's true. Yeah. That's true. But even then, like Iron Man, like the characters they had to use to launch their universe are not equivalent to Superman and like what DC has available to create a cinematic universe. Marvel did not start with that. Right? Yeah. Technically, they still don't even have Spider-Man. Sony still owns it, but and they still did it better because they had a plan, but they also didn't try to jump to the end before they even got started.
I agree. Also, he said, Alex, you and I should head DC Studios. Now, let me just tell you something.
And I'm an application.
That's true. You know what? I mean, it would be a great job. I mean, honestly, because the first thing I ask for is statues. But like, can I get some statues in my office?
I'm willing to run your studio for you, but I got a question. How many statues?
Can I keep the props?
Pay me in statues.
Yeah, can I keep the props from the movies? I think, well, Harrison all right, so they said, because they're having a good conversation here, they're going, the Superhuman Registration Act was great. You know, that's the thing. Both companies have different story arcs that could work in the movie cinematic, right? The Civil War with that whole stuff. And the X-Men works so well because me and you talked about it, the whole mutant thing and them criticizing the mutants, and it hits with reality. DC, the problem with DC, while they have beautiful stories and arcs, their great stories are character-driven. It's not a team thing. It's like Batman's great arcs is with Batman or Batman Robin, like within his universe, right? They could do that in movie. I don't know where did people get this whole you have to do team ups. You don't have to do team ups. You don't. You could make solo movies. Just continue making solo movies until you find that right, that great story, and then you team them up together. I could do. You could write 10 or 6 Batman movies before you team them up. As long as those 6 movies are great, I could give 2 craps about him and Superman together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and same thing with Superman. Why do you need Superman to be teaming up?
That's what builds the hype. Yeah. That's what builds the hype. When you have 5 movies and they've never even acknowledged each other, and then in the 6th one, it's like, oh shoot, look, it's Batman and Superman on screen. That's cool. It is. It's cool. That's the reason Avengers was cool. They were all separate, and then all of a sudden they were all together. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But I
agree with you. I have a feeling, if I was head of CEO, I'm going to be honest with you, Nate, I will tell them, give me 8 pictures of each character before we make this big-ass universe. If we could get people to anticipate the next sequels of these characters alone, maybe 3 or 4 pictures, not 8, because that's way too much. No, maybe 3, because a good trilogy.
74 movies before we
do 3 movies, right? 3. You give me 3 Superman trilogies. That's an arc that finishes with that big team up, and the same thing with Wonder Woman and Batman. And within the movie, the team up movie, you introduce Flash, Green Arrow. Within, you don't need origins, just get them in there. And then if the audience accepts the story with the characters of Flash, Green Arrow, then you branch off to their own stories. Give them 3 movie arcs. And then you come out with another.
Or just have them be small characters. Like, let's say
TV
Hawkeye.
shows.
Hawkeye never got a movie, but everyone knows him. He was in a bunch of them Avengers. You could be a side character. That's okay. You know what I mean? Just use them right. Utilize them. Make them comic accurate. And have a good time.
Or make them into TV shows. Branch them into TV. Be like, you know what? Coming this fall, The Flash.
Because movie actors will do TV. It doesn't matter. It's not like
show me the money. We got someone from Scotland. Congratulations on 5K subs, guys. Well deserved. Cheers, and watching from Scotland. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love talking superheroes and stuff like that, but we are coming to the end.
Great show.
It's an awesome show. We're gonna try to plan more. We've been trying to plan more. I think it's harder for the summer because my kids are here. So it gets harder. My time is like split. Once they go to school, we could add more time because they'd be sleeping, and I'm not doing 24,000 things in the summer. But I do enjoy going to live streams and talking stuff that people enjoy. And so tonight's show was great. We talked some Supergirl, we talked some comics, we did some physical media talk and digital talk. We did some box office numbers.
Mid-year movie tag with Stephanie.
Stephanie movie. You know, we could do also. We could do some fun challenges. Not like Huck's 52-week challenge, watching movies and stuff. We could do something like how Stephanie's movie tag is. We could look up. We could maybe look up some questions and stuff, and then when we come back live, we answer it for the 2026 movies. We could have fun with something like that. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this special occasion. 5,000. Next one will be our 10,000 sub celebration. We're gonna work on that. But yeah, other than that, we're going to be live again next week, Sunday. We're going to be back. I don't know what movie we're gonna see. Maybe some Evil Dead Burn. We'll do some live reviews of Evil Dead Burn. We'll talk about that for a bit. Maybe we'll do a horror. Yeah, maybe we'll do like an Evil Dead special episode for next week. Maybe let's do something like that. Evil Dead theme. All right, we're going to do an Evil Dead theme. So, guys, I'm gonna see if I could try to watch some Evil Dead movies this week, so we could do some fun stuff. I'll get some questions and stuff, and maybe we'll do some movie tags for Evil Dead. So next week, live on the show, we're gonna do some Evil Dead Burn. Talk about the entire franchise live for you guys. So again, get your Evil Dead stuff down. If you want to tag us in some photos of stuff of Evil Dead, if you want, just tag at Netflix Reviews or at Geeks and Flix, so we can see what you have for Evil Dead. I might start posting some Evil Dead stuff because I have tons of stuff for Evil Dead in my collection. So we'll do some fun stuff like that throughout the chat. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the chat. You guys are watching on the replay. Thank you so much, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Till then, be awesome to each other and geek out.